Yhwach just killed the Soul King with Ichigo's own sword, and somehow, that's not even the craziest thing that happened this week. What's up, Soul Reapers? Welcome back to Anime's Update, the only channel where we deliver anime news faster than Yoruichi does Flash Step. And today, we are talking about the end. Not the end like a Netflix cancellation. The actual end. Bleach. Thousand-Year Blood War is closing its final cour, titled The Calamity. And the final trailer just dropped, and honestly, it hits like a Getsuga Tensho to the chest. If you're new here, first of all, welcome to the war. Second of all, hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell, because Bleach news is about to come at you like a Quincy arrow barrage, and you do not want to miss a single hit. Okay, let's talk about why this trailer isn't just another trailer. Because if you've been following this adaptation, you know it's been a journey. Studio Pierrot brought this arc back from the dead in October 2022 after nearly a decade of fans just coping, cosplaying, rewatching the same 366 episodes on loop like it was a religious ritual. And now, we're standing at the final gate. Let's do a quick time skip recap, anime style, so everyone's caught up before we dive into the good stuff. Cour 1 dropped in 2022 and reintroduced us to the war nobody asked for, but everybody needed. Cour 2, The Separation, hit in 2023 and started splitting the cast up like a group chat during an argument, everybody fighting their own battle, nobody replying to the main thread. Then Cour 3, The Conflict, landed in October 2024, and things got personal. That part of the story sees Soul Society dealing with a full-blown invasion by the reawakened Quincy King Yhwach and his army, and let's be real. Reawakened Evil King shows up to ruin everyone's day, is basically the anime equivalent of your group project partner reappearing the night before it's due, except instead of a PowerPoint, it's the apocalypse. And now, Cour 4, The Calamity, the final stretch, the last lap, the put your popcorn down because your hands are shaking arc. So here's the moment we've all been building to the trailer itself. Buckle up, because this thing does not hold back. Transition time, let's get into what's actually in this trailer, because it is stacked. The final trailer delivers more scenes of climactic clashes, previews of the theme songs, and gives us Aizen's now iconic, "Welcome to my Soul Society" line, and if you know Aizen, you know that line hits different. It's not a threat. It's not a taunt. It's a flex. The man walked so casually into a scene where the entire multiverse is on fire and decided the vibe was, yeah, this is my house now. Aizen showing up mid-apocalypse to casually one-up literally everyone is the anime equivalent of someone crashing a funeral just to remind everyone they're still the main character. But let's rewind to the plot, because if you thought the last cour ended on a high note, no. It ended on a core-shattering note. Literally. Here's the official synopsis, and I need you to sit with this for a second. The Royal Guard Squad 0 confronts Yhwach as he attempts to enter the royal palace, but the Quincy King and his Royal Guard shatter Squad 0's powerful Bankai and step straight into the Reo Greater Palace. Let that sink in. Squad 0. The strongest, most mysterious. We don't even train, we just exist on another level squad in the entire series. Beaten. Not out-strategized. Not tricked. Just outpowered. That's like watching the final boss show up to a video game, and the tutorial character one-shots them. And it gets worse. Ichigo Hyasub entrusts Ichigo and his allies to protect the Soul King, but thanks to Yhwach's trickery, Ichigo ends up cutting down the Soul King with his own sword. Our boy Ichigo, the guy who spent the entire series trying to protect people, gets manipulated into delivering the killing blow to the one being holding the multiverse together. That's not just a plot twist. That's anime's version of being framed for a crime you didn't even know you were committing. Yhwach didn't just win a fight, he turned the hero into the weapon. And when the Soul King dies, it mirrors the collapse of the three worlds. Distortions and omens of destruction start appearing across every realm. Think of the Soul King like the load-bearing wall of the entire universe. You don't just knock it down for fun. You knock it down, and suddenly the whole house, Soul Society, the human world, Hueco Mundo, starts caving in around everyone's ears. So naturally, what do you do when the universe is falling apart and the enemy has taken your home turf? You call in backup. The 13 court guard squads join forces with the surviving Quincy's and head straight for the royal palace, except it's already fallen to the Wandenrake, who've turned it into the war welt. Translation: the good guys and the literal enemy army are now teaming up because the actual threat got so big that us versus them stopped matching. That's the anime equivalent of two rival companies suddenly merging because a bigger competitor is about to put them both out of business. Now pump the brakes for a second, because we need to talk about the sound of this final trailer. And trust me, this part is chef's kiss. The opening theme for this final cour is being performed by singer Yoruichi, with the track titled Eyeball. And if that name doesn't ring a bell yet, it will very soon, because Bleach openings have a track record of becoming iconic within about a week of airing. Meanwhile, the ending theme, Rasen, which translates to Spiral, will be performed by singer-songwriter Nine Lana. And here's the detail that actually surprised me. This wasn't some random assignment from a music committee sitting in a boardroom somewhere. According to comments Tight Kubo shared through Comic Natalie, he personally reviewed songs from the demo stage before making the final decisions himself. That's the creator, the guy who drew this entire universe from scratch, sitting down, listening to demo tracks, and going, no, not that one, this is the one. Kubo even said he wanted as many new artists as possible involved in the series, which honestly, respect. That's like a Michelin star chef handing the kitchen to an up-and-coming cook for the final course of a 10-year tasting menu. And Kubo didn't just approve the ending theme, he praised Nine Lana's Spiral specifically, saying the melody, lyrics, and arrangement were all incredibly strong. He even pointed out that the song's opening transitions smoothly into the closing moments of each episode, which is a wildly specific and wildly intentional detail. That's not an ending song. That's a stitched seam designed to make sure you feel every single gut punch on the way out of the episode. And the artists themselves? Genuinely wholesome reactions. Yoruichi called the opportunity deeply meaningful, saying he couldn't be happier to contribute to a series he grew up watching. So somewhere out there, a kid who watched Bleach after school is now literally scoring its final chapter. Nine Lana, meanwhile, expressed pure surprise and gratitude, saying the whole experience felt like a dream. That's the anime equivalent of getting cast in the sequel to the movie that made you want to become an actor in the first place. Alright, quick transition, because we need to talk dates, because Bleach fans have officially entered Circle the Calendar in red ink mode. The Calamity is set to premiere on July 25th, 2026, at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Time. Now for our international army, Japan gets the late-night broadcast first on TV Tokyo, and from there it's basically a rollout tour. BSTV Tokyo picks it up 2 days later on July 27th. ADX follows on August 2nd. Then Hiroshima TV and Niigata Broadcasting join in on August 4th, and Sendai Broadcasting wraps the regional rollout on August 10th. It's basically a world tour, except instead of a pop star, it's the apocalypse making stops across Japanese television. For everyone streaming, and let's be honest, that's most of us, the series continues exclusively on Hulu in the US and Disney Plus in select international territories. And if you're wondering whether you'll be waiting around for weeks after Japan gets it good news, you won't. The anime will stream on Hulu in the US and on Disney Plus in select markets on July 25th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, basically same day. No painful import wait. No sketchy stream links. Just straight from Soul Society to your couch. And for the absolute mega fans, ones who couldn't wait even one more second, Viz Media already took care of you. Advanced theatrical screenings of the first 3 episodes ran in US cinemas from June 25th through June 29th. And get this. It wasn't just the episodes. It came with an exclusive behind-the-scenes conversation with the creators. So somewhere out there, a group of Bleach fans got to watch the apocalypse unfold on a 40-foot screen with surround sound loud enough to make Yhwach's entrance feel like an earthquake. Honestly, iconic way to close out a series. Now let's talk numbers for a second, because the scale of this adaptation deserves its own highlight reel. The Bleach manga originally ran from 2001 to 2016 in Weekly Shonen Jump and was collected into 74 tankobon volumes. And this final arc, the 1000-Year Blood War, isn't just an arc. It covers volumes 55 through 74. That's not a story arc. That's basically its own trilogy of novels stitched onto the back of an already massive series. Imagine binge reading the last fifth of an entire book series and realizing that's just one storyline. That's the scale we're talking about. And once this final cour wraps, the anime will have fully adapted the remainder of the original manga. That means no more, wait, does the anime end here or do I need to read the manga confusion? No more cliffhangers with an asterisk. This is it. The full, complete, animated version of Tight Kubo's, ending the one he wrote over a decade ago, finally getting the visual treatment it deserves. Let's pivot for a second, because the production side of this story is honestly just as wild as the plot. This adaptation has been nearly 4 years in the making by Studio Pierrot since it kicked back off in 2022. For years to adapt the final quarter of a manga that itself took 15 years to write. That's the anime equivalent of a director spending 4 years finishing the last 20 minutes of an already 3-hour movie, except every single minute of that 20 is packed with fights, betrayals, and universe-ending stakes. And leading the charge behind the scenes? Tamahisa Taguchi as chief director and series composer known for directing and writing Akudama Drive and The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes. The music itself comes from composer Shiro Sajisu, the same man behind the score for Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, and Bleach's original soundtrack from way back when. So the guy who scored Ichigo's very first Getsuga Tensho over 20 years ago is still in the booth, still crafting the sound of this universe's final breath. That's not just continuity, that's a composer closing a loop he opened literally decades ago. Now, quick gut check before we wrap this up, because I want you to sit with the actual emotional weight of what's happening here. Bleach fans have waited since 2016, nearly a full decade for this ending. Some of you watching this right now started this series in middle school, and you're about to finish it as full-grown adults with jobs, bills, and probably a mortgage. This isn't just an anime wrapping up. This is a chapter of a lot of people's childhoods finally closing, and honestly, that's rare. Most long-running shonen series just kind of fade out, get rebooted, get remastered into oblivion. Bleach is getting an actual, deliberate, cinematic quality send-off. That's not something to scroll past. That's something to show up for. So here's the real question, and I want you to actually think about this instead of just nodding along. After Aizen strolls in with his "Welcome to my soul society" energy, after the Soul King falls, after Squad Zero, the supposed strongest force in existence, gets shattered like a phone screen with no case on it, who's actually walking away from this war? Because right now, nobody looks safe. Not Ichigo. Not the Quincy's. Not even the guy who's clearly having the time of his life watching it all burn. That's everything we've got on Bleach. 1,000-Year Blood wore the Calamity for today. If this video got you even a fraction as hyped as I am right now, do me a favor, hit subscribe, tap that notification bell, and let me know in the comments who you think doesn't survive to see the credits roll. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.